I want to work with you. You are coachable, you are moldable, you're hungry to learn.
Hey, I'm Jeremy with Northwest, and today we're sitting down with our recruiter, Heather. Heather, thank you so much for joining us today. When you're searching for someone, what's the importance level of finding someone who's done the exact job you're looking for?
So experience obviously matters when you're hiring, but being the right culture fit and being the right fit for the company matters so much more than just being someone who has been there and done that.
Have you ever hired someone who looked really good on paper, but then when they got here didn't quite fit the culture and didn't last that long?
Yeah, absolutely. It's not my favorite thing, but yeah, we've absolutely hired, I've hired a team manager who had been there, right? Had managed multiple teams in many different types of environments. We felt like, they would be able to come here and take on kind of some of the complex challenges and operate with the autonomy of like, hey, you've seen some things, you know what to do when things pop up. She ended up coming here and the ambiguity and not really having the playbook of what to do. We really found that was hard for her. She came from environments that had a little bit more of the written, what to do. And so we, kind of one of those examples of, not being the culture fit. She really struggled in our environment and wasn't someone who lasted very long with our team.
So now let's go the exact opposite. Someone who winds up being a good culture fit. On paper, they don't necessarily have it, but they still make it in our company.
Totally, yeah, great examples of that. We recently had to scale one of our departments, our payroll team. That's a pretty important role, like really high impact across the company. And so you have some of those positions that really feels important to get it right the first time. People really care about their money and payroll, affects that. So with this team, had to scale that payroll department and really have it be where it would be able to, service our team members. We found someone who, on paper had actually never done payroll before. Seems a little bit terrifying for, a payroll position, especially with the impact and just kind of the complexity that we have. And so, with talking with him, it was one of those like, gosh, you are hitting, I want to work with you. You are coachable, you are moldable, you're hungry to learn. He just really hit all of those pieces of what we look for in the culture fit. And so went to the hiring manager and kind of said I know on paper he's never done payroll, but let's talk to him. Let's see what are the really important pieces in his role. What does he already have? And what are some of the areas that we could maybe coach or train? And so ended up, kind of convincing the hiring manager to move forward and have that conversation. He's turned out to be an amazing team member, has really exceeded our expectations. He's come in, he's learned the specific, payroll systems and the ins and outs, the complexity, and really just having those culture pieces and cultural behaviors that came natural to him really helped him be successful in coming in and learning a whole lot.
You founded your company your way. It's important to find someone who not only fits the role you're hiring for, but your company as a whole. Stick around. Coming up, Heather is going to explain why training the right person a new skill isn't as hard as it might seem on paper. What's interesting is here, I think I have met a lot of people since I've been here who have been trained for their specific role, but were hired without those skills when they arrived. Is that something we do commonly?
I would say so. I mean, again, going back to there are certain areas where we know we do things differently. And so coming in, you already know you're going to have to learn, some of the industry and some of the systems. And so, really it's like one extra step of that. And so, yeah, we've done that quite a bit and have seen, great success in people coming in and just being hungry, being motivated, and being able to pick up new skills, new areas of expertise even.
Okay, so now I'm going to ask a pretty tricky question. Let's say somebody else is in your shoes, hiring for a role, and they're looking for somebody. How do they go about making that priority for that culture fit? How do they identify what they want to hire for versus just looking for those skills?
Yeah, I think a big part is really that, having a clear understanding of like, what will this position do? What is our end goal? What do they need to, in 30, 60, 90 days, be able to accomplish? And then I think you really kind of start to strip down those like bullet points of within that, job description. What does that actually look like today? What is the reality of our systems, where we're at? And then I think you really just kind of line by line break that apart and figure out where's our current reality. Are we in a place where we need someone to just come in and hit the ground running? Or do we have some of that flexibility to maybe have, someone come in with a little bit more of a learning, runway, and we can, kind of make space for that when it makes sense.
Well, Heather, thank you so much for taking the time to talk today. I really appreciate it. And this was super helpful. If you found it helpful, hit subscribe. If you have any questions for Heather or anyone else around here, drop them down in the comments below and we can make a video about it.